Today we're learning the retouching tools, the healing brush and the spot healing brush tool in Adobe Photoshop. So I've got a couple of things in Photoshop to show you. Here we have a girl who kind of doesn't have the greatest skin. So there are two tools that you should use for fixing basic skin mistakes. This one is called the spot healing brush tool, and this one is the healing brush tool. The differences are they're very similar. Let's talk about the spot healing tool. When you click on the spot healing tool, you're going to see a little circle appear. If you do not see a circle appear, you probably have caps lock on, so make sure caps lock is off. This is the area that is going to sample. So you can use your bracket keys to make it smaller or bracket keys to make it bigger, or you can always go right here to change the size of your brush. Now what it does is when you find a mistake, I'm going to Alt scroll my mouse to get a little bit closer. It is going to sample everything that is around the edge of that circle. So you don't want the circle to be too big. If we got too big, it's going to start sampling her hair and her eyes and giving us an average of all of that. So we also don't want to be too small. If you go too small, it's not going to have enough information. So you want to go a little bit bigger than the zit, but not too big. And all you do is click. Now the computer has, like I said, taken an average of everything that is around it, and it's going to just give you an average and make it nice and clean. Now sometimes you will be able to see that there is a circle. If so, you probably need to make the softness of your brush a little bit better. I wouldn't go completely soft, or else it's not going to cover up the zits. So this is just the basic idea of covering up any skin imperfections. The problem that you're going to get is, say right here, is it going to start sampling over here and change things? Let's see how it does. It did okay, but you can see that it started bleeding in on her skin. It's kind of not understanding it. So let me back up, Control Z, Control Z. This would be a reason why we might want to use the healing brush tool. The healing brush tool is going to do the same thing, but you can tell it, where do I want you to make an average from? So hold on, let's move this down small. It's remembering the last time I used it, so let me clear that out. What it's going to do is, instead of going from all around the circle and making an average, you can tell it, where do I want to sample from? So I'm going to find an area that is clean, Alt and click. So I'm telling it, right there, that area is where I want you to grab from and make me, do you see that it's grabbing that? When I click it down, you're going to see a little plus sign. That is where it sampled from. And now we're getting a much cleaner area. So that's the difference between the spot healing brush. The spot healing brush is going to sample around whatever the object is. The healing brush tool is going to use wherever you target. Let's try that one again. So I want to get this. I'm going to click, Alt click, and it's going to choose the area, a nice clean area. And now I'm going to go down, and you see the plus mark? That is where it grabbed from. Let's look at a different one to show you why you might want to do that. If you have somebody with really bad skin like this, the problem with using the spot healing brush is going to be that there is not a good clean area that you could choose from. It doesn't have anywhere that it can kind of grab from. That looks okay. We may want to use the healing brush tool and choose an area that's got a relative amount of cleanliness, that's clean, to get a better sample, instead of trying to sample all around us, because all around us is got problems in and of itself. So you can see that little plus mark is down there in the clean part, helping us get some better skin. This one's going to be pretty hard to get good. Do you see that my brush was a little too small and I'm kind of seeing the area that I did? You want to make sure your brush is big enough, but not too big. I think another thing that might help on this one is to bring down the feathering on the brush, a kind of softer brush. So let's see if we can get a little bit better. Alt, click the clean area. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. If your brush is too small, you're going to see the problems. See if we can add that wrinkle back in there. Click. Yeah, that looks better. So once again, I just Alt, click on the area you want to use as your sample, and then it's going to Average that together. So those are the two main tools of the spot healing brush and the healing brush.